Okay. Right, so I want to talk about the Burrito bond today. Can I just get a show of hands? How many people know what a burrito is? Okay. So there's a picture of Chilango. We're a quick service Mexican restaurant concept in London. We have 8 locations at the moment, another 6 in development. Short term, our strategy remains to continue growing throughout the UK and hold our position as the public's favorite in terms of quality. Long term, we're building what will become a multi-billion pound power brand. And what we're really selling at the end of the day is not so much Mexican food, and that we're selling vibrancy. It's the one-word distillation of our brand. All great brands can be summed up in a single word. And people really visit us because it's a chance for them to have their day brightened up in the grayness of London. And so that's what we're really selling. That's what Chilango is all about. That's a picture of one of our locations there. Looks very posed. That's on Cannon Street. That location, within 3 weeks of opening up, it was already exceeding break-even volumes and has been growing quite strongly ever since. How do I get this to work? There we go, yeah. We're getting there. Okay, yeah, we decided, and this relates to what I'm going to talk about later in terms of crowdfunding, we decided to invest very, very heavily in the brand up front. That's paid off in that all the brand's been rated #1 by Zagat, Evening Standard, Grazia magazine said it was the best burrito they had ever had in their life. Men's Health has voted us top 10 healthiest high street chains, Esquire, Time Out, et cetera, et cetera. We even had the opportunity to do a guest judging stint on The Apprentice in the UK. So all those investments in the brand have really paid off for us, and that directly led to our success later on with crowdfunding. And then even more recently, just in the last 2 months, as was mentioned, we were named amongst the 27 most disruptive entrepreneurs in the country. Condé Nast Traveler just came out with their survey of what they thought were the 10 best restaurant chains in the world, not based on size, but based on quality of the experience. Shake Shack has been a topic earlier in the conference. They came in at #2. And Chilango very proudly came in at #4. And then Time Out, again, just last month, voted us London's best burritos. So today I want to talk about 2 things, how and why crowdfunding works, but more importantly, I want to tell at least how we absolutely smashed it. So how you can not only take advantage of crowdfunding, but how you can make it an absolute rocket success. And that's, by far the more important thing. So how and why, crowdfunding works. First point. So the way to think about crowdfunding is simply think about eBay. So eBay connects buyers and sellers. Crowdfunding is no different. All it's doing is connecting people with great ideas with people with capital. But it's doing it in a way that cuts out the fat. It cuts out the middlemen. Before doing Chilango, Dan and I, who I started the business with, there's Dan, we helped build Skype in its very, very early days. So we joined Skype when it was about 30 people or so in a small unmarked office in Soho in London. And everyone at the time, 99%, well, I always say 99% of the people at the time got what we were doing with Skype. There's 1% who didn't understand what we were doing with Skype, and they questioned the whole thing. And during that time that 1% pondered, how is this all happening? It had already happened. And that's the same thing that's going on with crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is happening. It's a train. It's moving fast. And it's best to embrace it. Because if you don't, it will just run you over. all it does is it creates a marketplace. It creates a marketplace for great ideas and people with capital, but it lets the everyday person invest in your business, right? So it allows someone to invest. If you take our Burrito bond as an example, it allows someone to invest anywhere from £500 up to £50,000, investing in a business that they love directly. It solves a big problem. I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs in the room would, agree that one of the toughest things is getting your business financed. It will always remain, a difficult, challenging activity, fundraising. And again, this provides an alternative route to funds and an alternative, route to access capital. Most importantly, critical mass has been achieved. So in the UK, 50% of all seed deals next year are going to go through crowdfunding. 50%. This is not like a small change business anymore. The alternative finance market in the UK, £1.74 billion. So these are not small sums of money moving, changing hands. These are massive sums of money changing hands. And the legislation in the UK provides a pro-crowdfunding environment, but what it's really providing all of us is a window into the future, because the success in the UK will certainly be replicated in other markets throughout the world. So it's a chance to kind of understand where business financing, where entrepreneurial finance is going, and it's happening right now. Now, more importantly, I want to talk about what made our campaign a success. You have to have all the basics. You have to have a strong P&L, great sites. As a food business, obviously the food needs to taste amazing. I mean, these are all the basics. But looking back at what allowed us to set kind of a world record, none of that was really kind of the secret sauce. The first thing, and the things I'm going to talk about right now are incredibly basic, but simplicity, as Da Vinci said, is the ultimate sophistication. So we need not complicate this. So, point one, why were we able to set a world record raise? We had the right partner. So 70% of all the crowdfunding done in the UK, which is the largest crowdfunding market in the world, happens through this company here, Crowdcube. And like any good business deal, whether you're hiring a crew member, whether you're partnering up with a landlord on a site, whether you're selecting a partner to open an international market, any good deal, or how we started this business, for example, Dan and I, any good deal is founded based on solid partnership. And that's what we found with Crowdcube. So very forward-thinking guys, willing to take risks and get something set up. Second point, you have to put something out there that people, will bite on. So when we were trying to determine, well, what are we going to offer for our deal? So basically, we were trying to lend money from the public rather than lend from a bank. Now, with a bank would give you, say, a 3-year term. You'd have to pay back interest plus principal. We were able to loan money from the public on an interest-only basis at 8%. We determined the interest rate. We didn't try to economize that interest rate. We selected an interest rate that we thought people would immediately bite on and that we thought was also commensurate with the risk being taken. And then we also offered an incentive. If you invested £10,000 or more, you got a Chilango Black Card, which entitled you to 1 free burrito per week. So great deal, led to over 700 people taking up the offer. Again, world's best brands, Nike, it's about competition. Disney, it's about happiness. The world's best brands can be summed up in a single word. If you can't sum up your brand in a single word, get excited, because you have an opportunity actually to create more alignment through your company and your organization by finding out what that word is and aligning yourself around it. The fact that people immediately got what we were about brightening up people's days. They could see that through starting from left to right, our places, our people, and our food. They could feel that. They could easily see why we are different in the marketplace, and that gave them some confidence to invest. Next point. We surrounded ourselves with lots of wisdom, not only to help us make the right decisions, but specifically for this deal. When we launched, I wanted to give the public confidence and say that people in the industry who have lots of knowledge have already invested in this. And many of the people that you see there from those brands, when we launched, had already put their money behind the Burrito Bond. And that gave people lots of confidence that their money was following good, wise money. The next thing, though, and I want to make a connection too, so yesterday we heard John Quilter talk about the power of video. So all of these things are important, but what I want to show you, even though the pitch is closed and it's irrelevant now, I want to show you the video that we made next, which went viral on the internet, which summed up everything that we are trying to do in a handful of minutes, and what I personally believe was the most compelling single piece of content that we created to make people or give people the confidence to invest in us. So that's going to play next. And this is what we launched with on June 10th.
Hi, my name is Eric. I grew up in the U.S.
Hi, my name is Dan. I'm from the UK.
We're both Mexican food addicts and are the founders of Chilango.
Everyone's got a favorite food. For us, it's Mexican. Today I'm going to tell you about our exciting new Mexican restaurant chain, Chilango, as well as how you can participate in our success by investing in what we're doing through our new Burrito Bond. The Burrito Bond is a super simple opportunity for you to join us in our quest and invest in our success. Key features, you loan money to the company and we pay you an 8% annual rate of interest on the money that you loan us. Interest payments are paid semi-annually, and at the end of the 4-year term, we get back your money.
The UK eating out market is massive and is forecasted to grow to £82.5 billion over the next 12 months. And the British love affair with ethnic cuisine creates an exciting opportunity for Chilango, a fresh take on Mexican. Today we're a high street chain of 7 quick-service Mexican restaurants, all based in central London. Every single week we serve delicious, fresh, made-to-order Mexican meals to thousands of hungry guests, just like you. But we're not doing Mexican in the way you're used to.
Gone are the old world images of sombreros, cacti, and tequila. Chilango is a contemporary Mexican offering that focuses on the food and fits with the time.
You choose from a range of tasty meals, including burritos, tacos, nachos, and salads, chicken, steak, prawns, and pork, marinated, then grilled or braised, veg, guacamole, and salsas, all freshly prepared. And all of this in just 2 minutes, as your meal is made fresh to order before you decide to eat in or take away, as you pay.
We've had a thrilling ride to date, from cooking on national television with Tana Ramsey to appearing as a guest judge with Lord Alan Sugar on The Apprentice.
As well as a host of awards, including #1 Mexican Restaurant, Best Buy, Best New Concept, Best Newcomer, and Best Design Multiple Restaurant. Thanks to this popularity, we've opened restaurants in some of London's most prime areas, including Upper Street, Fleet Street, Chancery Lane, London Wall, Spitalfields Market, Leather Lane, and Monument, with Camden, Soho, and more to come.
Although me and Dan are deeply passionate about Mexican food, we also know that to build a successful business, it requires more than just passion alone, which is why we've surrounded ourselves with an incredibly strong group of investors and advisors, as well as a very strong team.
I think, why did I invest in Chilango? For me, when I look at a business, it's all about a couple things. Does it actually trigger the heart, and does it trigger the head? And what I loved about Chilango Chilango's is actually, it triggered both for me. Chilango's a new breed of business where they understand it takes more than just simply opening a store. It's actually about having a real clear vision, having a real passion for what they do, and actually implementing that vision and passion into the people who work in the business so that the guests feel like they're coming into a very special environment. They feel that passion and drive, and yet more importantly have fantastic food as part of that process. And that's why people come back and spread the word of mouth about Chilango, because it's just fantastic food.
What I love about the Chilango brand is that it's about the whole experience. So everywhere you come into contact with Chilango's, it all says the same thing. It says, we're different, we're going to surprise you, and you're going to love to come back for more. At Domino's, I ran a 600-plus restaurant business, so I've seen what it takes to get to some big numbers. Now, Chilango is, without doubt, a power brand. It is a standout business, and it is a country mile ahead of so many others in its market. So based on its results, and with the passion that the management has, and the vision that they have for Chilango in the future, yeah, the sky's the limit. If they can create this much energy with just 7 stores, imagine what it's going to be like with 20, or with 100, or even more.
It's a really exciting time to be part of the team at Chilango. We have all of the key ingredients to make a really successful business. We already have 7 successful restaurants right in the heart of London, and exciting pipelines of new ones to come. We have a really strong food offer, consistent operations, and above all, passionate and committed people at every level in the organisation. It reminds me of Itsu when they were at a similar stage of development, and I'm sure we're going to be equally as successful.
So by investing in the Burrito Bond, you're going to be joining some amazing companies. All of the people you've just seen have already invested in the Burrito Bond, including the CEO and the CFO of Carluccio's, the former MDs for both Costa Coffee and Jamie Oliver International, and the former Vice President of Marketing for McDonald's UK. We have massive plans for Chilango, but for now, our goal is to simply grow from our base of 7 restaurants to 10. And your investment in the Burrito Bond will help us do just that. So if you're as excited as we are about vibrantly flavored food, why not join us in our quest and invest in Chilango's Burrito Bonds?
So, simple video. We spent a month working on that. It went viral, was viewed thousands of times across the net. And the result of it, so in 75 days, once the video was made, once the pitch materials were made available, we raised over £2 million from over 700 people. But what we really created was 700 brand ambassadors throughout the City of London. So people who are absolutely both passionate and proud about their support in Chilango and their ability to participate and profit from our growth. And that's really what crowdfunding is about. The coverage was fantastic. We had 7 major television. It was as much an exercise in branding as it was in fundraising. 7 major television appearances and over 70 pieces of print press, from The Economist to the Wall Street Journal to the New York Times. The future, 2 things I just want to end with. Please look into crowdfunding. Do yourself a favor and make sure that you embrace and become familiar with this future in alternative finance, because it's fast moving. And as we felt with Skype, if you don't embrace it, it's something that will literally just run you over. So take a look at it. Alternative finance market, again in the UK, £1.7 billion. It's massive, and it's continuing to grow. And the future for us, simply we think what we're selling, the chance to brighten up people's days, the whole world will subscribe to that. So we look forward to bringing Chilango everywhere, in every major market throughout the world. And that's all I have to say. So thanks for the opportunity to speak.
Great, thanks, Eric. Eric, very interesting. Whilst you're here, are you looking for projects in this region as well?
Absolutely. The reason Chilango is a success is because Dan and I were lucky enough to, work together and realize that that business partnership worked. It's the, it's the thing that fundamentally drives kind of our results. It will drive our future success, the strength of that partnership. And that also applies to coming to a market like this. Our number one, personal objective with being down here is to meet people, and quite simply is to find somebody that we like. Because if we find somebody that we like, that we can work with, we know we have the brand assets and the ability to, create a great concept. It's just finding somebody that we can like, the right partner.
Okay, great. Well, we've got plenty of those in the audience, so if anybody's interested in your concept, I'm sure they'll come and see you. What on the bond side then? So are you looking to raise any more money out of crowdfunding?
Absolutely. So later this year, we'll be releasing Burrito Bond 2, the sequel. So we're already going to be working on that with Crowdcube, and we're going to smash the first goal. So what we want to prove, I said just last week to Crowdcube, I said, guys, come on, let's prove to the world that this isn't a one-off opportunity. Let's prove to the world that this is a go-to alternative source of financing, and we'll do that by doing another successful bond.
Okay, just a quick one. It looks a little bit like when we went through the timeshare industry, when you had timeshare salespeople selling timeshare. I suppose you just need to be a bit careful that it doesn't go down that route, and that the projects that are going through crowdfunding actually work, they're successful, there's not too much bad press.
It's a great point, and the risk, and this is where we're really fortunate, I guess, in the fact that the British government, and specifically the Financial Conduct Authority, has spent a lot of time not just opening up the legislation to enable this, but a lot of time with Crowdcube to make sure that not anyone, for example, can sign up to their site. So they have over 100,000 people that have registered as investors, but all of those people must, in the Financial Conduct Authority's eyes, prove that they are a qualified investor. And you're absolutely right. The public, with anything new, the public must be protected, and we're fortunate that the UK government, I guess, has kind of gotten behind that specific issue to make sure that that's happening.
So if there's any companies in this part of the world that are looking to raise finance, equity or debt, is this something that they could use, or do they need to be really based in the UK?
I'm not familiar with the legislation down here. All I know is that the UK market is the most advanced when it comes to this, in terms of the legislation. To invest in the Burrito Bond, you have to be a resident of the UK, not necessarily a national, but a resident. But I don't see that it has to start somewhere. And I think all that will happen as it continues to gain momentum is that it will give other governments inspiration to do the same. Because ultimately what it's simply trying to do is help create economic growth, which any government, should be, clamoring to support.
Great. Excellent. I think we could go on for a long time asking Eric questions, but I know we're well beyond our time now, Jennifer, I think. So please show your appreciation to Eric. Thank you so much,
Thank
Eric.
you.